Okay, now we're going to graph several different forms of numbers, one of which you're very familiar. So the first form is just rectangular form, XY. Probably since 5th or 6th grade, you've had a coordinate graph and you had to plot a point. That point is XY. Well, in trig, we have polar coordinates, and they will get plotted on a polar graph, which is looks like a coordinate plane, but with circles also on the graph, indicating radius and angles. And then the complex form, instead of the y-axis, the imaginary I, serves as the y-axis. And then we have the x-axis, and it's in this form. A, think x. Bi, think yi. It'll make it, if you think about it that way, it'll make it easier to graph. And then we have graphing vectors. Vectors are points with direction. So if you might plot the point xy, let's say it's positive x, negative y, whoops, and this symbol means vector. Well, there's the point, but then from the origin, you draw an arrow to that point, and that would be a vector. All right, so let's go ahead and give it a shot. So here we have a rectangular, just rectangular coordinates, xy, and this is the point 4, 5. That's all there is to graphing rectangular points. For polar, if we're told that our radius is equal to 4 and our theta is equal to 7 pi 6, what you do is you go to 7 pi 6 first, and then you count out the radius. And so here's the radius of 4. So at 7 pi 6, we put a dot right there, and that's our polar point, r, comma, theta. For complex numbers, again, you pay attention to the sign. So if we have an a minus bi, think about that as saying x with a negative y value. We're in the 4th quadrant, so we go over 6 and we go down negative 3, and there is the complex coordinate 6. Another way to write that is 6 plus negative 3i. That would be appropriate also. And then we have vectors. So remember, this notation indicates a vector. And so you go to the point on the coordinate graph 2, 6. So we went over 2, up 6, plotted a point, and then we drew the arrow starting from the origin up to that point. And there's our vector. All right. So those are just kind of the basics of plotting points in the 4 different, in rectangular, polar, complex, and vector forms. All right, that's it for now.